is announcing a first bid round offshore acreages of Federal Republic of Somalia. And so we are attending the Africa Oil Week to announce that on the 7th of February 2019 in London, Somalia is going to be holding the first of its kind bid rounds, or licensing rounds if you like, of multiple acreages.
So how many acreages are you talking about?
Well, there are quite many. Our potential customers could always speak to our partners. So Spectrum ASA is a seismic company that has our data. We have a total of 206 blocks offshore Federal Republic of Somalia, but we'll be auctioning some of the most prospective blocks in the southern part of Somalia.
Do you find that there are concerns in the private sector to invest in Somalia?
Sure, yes. In the sense of onshore Somalia, there's always a concern, but we are now acreaging or licensing offshore, and offshore Federal Republic of Somalia is a central, it is strategic, it's very big, it's far out into the sea, the blocks that we will be auctioning, so currently there shouldn't be any concern for any security or any other investment. The government, the federal government is working very hard, is less corrupt, is doing very well with the fiscal regimes, is doing quite well now on the petroleum bill and investment bill, and also on all sort of incentives to make sure that the investors' interests are well taken care of.
Okay. So in terms of regulation, everything is being the way it's being paid?
Absolutely. The ministry is the regulator currently. There is no a side petroleum authority. It is in the bill. It should be constructed, but as things are now, we're starting quite small, and all the regulations are to be in place at the time of auctioning the acreages.
Now, in terms of it being offshore, what sort of infrastructure would you need?
Well, it would be what we're looking at. We're looking at more floating production systems. We don't want to have rigid platforms, for example. So we're looking at a good chance of prospecting, drilling, going into a PSA contracts, and then doing exploration appraisals. And should there be the find that we expect there is, then we want to export and don't have any refining, because the country's capability at the moment in refining is as good as zero. So we want to sell raw material, raw oil, crude oil out as possible, out to the market as possible, and not do any refined products.
And what is the response to you being here so far this week?
Well, it was beautiful. Cape Town is a beautiful city. We've had quite substantial talks with some of the biggest players in the oil and gas industry. We've seen governments of alikes who are doing presentations and bid rounds, so we've learned a lot. It has been an interesting oil week in Cape Town.
Okay, so why should people invest in Somalia with all the other countries available?
Well, it's a good question, Jim, and I think it boils down into location. So location. Somalia is super strategic. Offshore Somalia is the biggest coastline in Africa. There are hopes that are big structures, and there is a potential for big discoveries. It is a frontier country, and some people say that is the last unexplored area of this continent. And we've, countries, the neighboring countries have always, had big reserves of gas. The biggest reserve of gas, East Africa, some places like Tanzania, Mozambique. But Somalia is thought to be the pot where all of the oil is cooking and the gas is around. So we hope that the investors will find that attractive. And our PSA model is quite attractive. The terms are extremely attractive. Investment laws are there. So Somalia is the place to invest now.